Hey friend, welcome back to another episode of Ash to Dusk. This is your midweek moment where we check in, see how we're doing, but this week we're changing it up. My name is Ashley Marina. If you're new here, welcome. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. So I thought we were going to change Wednesdays up. Traditionally, we have focused on checking in with each other as a midweek touch point and see where we need to get back on course to finish out the week strong. But some things that I'm learning as I'm looking at the analytics of the podcast are a couple of things. Most of you are here because you want something more. You want to be unstuck. You want to do something different. You don't know how to get there yet. You're burned out. You're doing all the things. You just want to talk and just hang out. So we're going to reserve that time for Sunday. Sunday is going to be much more of deeper dives into our personal life, motherhood, relationships. Who knows? There may even be a future episode very soon with my husband, Mike, and start bringing in some guest podcast hosts, which I'm super excited about. But there are some of you who are ready to take that next step in your career. You're ready to either ditch your job, you are wanting to start your own business, you want to grow into a leadership role. And these are things I love doing so much. I love coaching. I love giving some tips and advice. And I want to share all the things that I've learned because after being in business for 6 years now, there are so many things that I wish I knew sooner, or that there was a lot of mental blocks that I would have overcome sooner than it has taken me. So I want to share that with you. There are so many people who gatekeep this information because they're afraid that if they give it all away, then you become like a competitor. I'm not going to do that. I want to share everything that I know and that I'm learning. And who knows, maybe you're an entrepreneur watching and then you'll be like, hey, Ashley, did you know this? And you're going to teach me something too. So Wednesdays are going to be a little bit more focused on career, leadership, and Sundays will be a little bit more focused on the personal growth aspect. Now, they will all have personal growth into it, but just we're going to separate them. Now, you're probably like, are you going to sit in a robe for your Wednesday episodes too? No, I'm not going to do that. I was actually just recording my episode for Sunday, and the camera shut off halfway through the episode. Now, I don't read a script. I don't have all these notes. I really speak from my heart. So I had to restart the camera, started filming again, and then the same thing happened. So I think it's overheating. I have no idea why. So I shut off the camera, needless to say, and decided, you know what? I'm going to record my midweek episode. I'm going to use my phone and my little mini mic, and it's all going to be okay. So with that being said, oftentimes in leadership or in entrepreneurship, you have to pivot when you least expect it, when it's not convenient. You have to shift, you have to change things up, and it doesn't always go as planned. So today I had meetings in the morning. I wanted to come home. I wanted to get my episodes recorded that I wanted to get done because we're going to be ripping up the carpet in this office and putting new flooring in over the weekend. And I needed to just get some things done before we make that happen. And the episode recording did not go as planned. So our midweek moment is being done right here on my phone. And we're going to just chat for a minute about leadership and entrepreneurship. Okay, so my hope for these episodes are going to be more so real-time lessons that I'm learning, but sometimes it might be things that I've learned, over the course of my journey in leadership or owning a business. But my goal is that each week, because trust me, every single day in leadership, you learn something new. But I decided, each week we could probably dive into something that has come up. And one thing recently that I want to share with you is the power of blocking. Yeah, the power of blocking, the power of boundaries. And that's something that I did this past week. I had to block somebody who has absolutely crossed the boundaries one too many times. But being the people pleaser in me, I'm always afraid of, well, what will happen if this person gets really mad or upset with me? Or how will this affect future business? Or how does this look in my personal life? Like, I'm always analyzing things and always trying to find excuses instead of just handling it. And do you know, like when somebody just does the final thing and you're like, I've had enough? That was me this week. And sometimes it takes me a while to get there, but once I get there, I'm truly done. And that's what it was. And so I ended up blocking this person on my phone, my email, social media. And I'm here to tell you, it felt amazing. It felt amazing because I don't need to have interactions with this person. They don't need a front row seat in what I'm doing. Quite frankly, they don't even need to be in the arena that I am playing in right now. And so for you, I want you to think about that. Is there somebody in your life that needs some strict boundaries? And maybe you've put those boundaries in place, but they keep crossing them. It's okay to block. Done. I don't want to have access to you anymore. And if you hear me in my keynotes or in my traditional podcast with Ash to Dusk, you know that I'm always encouraging and thinking about the personal growth side of things. And I'm always going introspective, like how could I have been better? I'm always reflecting, what could have I said better? What could I have done better? But I'm also here to tell you this. It's okay to go inward. It's okay to be reflective. We should be. But there also comes a point where you have to decide that you're no longer going to put up with something anymore. And that is going to be required of you to get to the next level. This is something that has taken me so many years to understand. I still struggle with it. I feel like my inner circle continues to get smaller and smaller because honestly, people really get weirded out when you start changing your life. Okay. And when I say hitting success, I want to break that down for a second because many people from the outside looking in will just assume that what they see on social media is some sort of indication of how everything is going. But what they don't see is all the sleepless nights, worrying about how to pay for payroll, worrying about if, certain contracts are going to get renewed or not. Like there's a lot of things that other people don't that people just don't get to see unless if you're a part of the inner circle. And I'm telling you, especially women. So my friend, if you're a woman, listen up. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. So we just had International Women's Day, which I didn't post about because I feel like we should just be able to celebrate being a woman in America or internationally all the time, right? Like we don't need to, I don't know. It's a weird day for me. And anyways, I didn't post about it, but I need to have girl talk with you for just a minute. Why is it that we say you can be anything you want to be and we fight for women's rights? We fight for equal pay. We fight for all these things so that we can have a seat at the table like a man. But here's what we do. We will be the first to shred another woman down. Why is that? Why does that happen? And I'm not saying that I haven't been guilty of this in my past because I have been, but I think a lot of it comes from insecurity. We were trained and programmed, at least my generation, on like the Princess Disney movies, which is there's always a villain. There always has to be a bad guy. Just this notion that if she has, then it takes away from me. And I am sick of it. And I will not participate in that ever. So whether if you're doing it to me or you're doing it to somebody else, I'm not going to stand for it. And I want you to really check yourself. If you see another woman being successful or having some sort of success, ask yourself, why does it bother you that that is happening? If it does bother you, ask yourself that. I mean, I can't imagine a day where I am feeling that way anymore. I mean, I look at other people, I'm like, good for them. Even competitors, I'm like, I am truly happy for them because I know how hard it is to wake up every single day and to have employees who count on you and clients and school districts who count on you. Like, I understand those pressures and I know how hard it is. The internet makes entrepreneurship very glamorous. And I'm here to tell you, it's not. What it does is it affords you some level of financial and time freedom, which I think is important. But on the reverse side, you will stress about your finances and sometimes you'll work way more hours than anybody else that you know. And so I am never going to shred or rip down anyone, especially if they're trying to start their own business or if they're in a leadership role or just I don't know. I just don't understand it. And so, yeah, this week I ended up needing to block somebody that it felt uncomfortable for just a second, but I hit that boiling point of enough is enough. And so, as we think about, celebrating International Women's Day and all of that, I want to think about how do we not pretend like we're going to celebrate something, but then on the flip side, all we do is shred each other and tear each other down. That's not going to serve anybody, none of us. And so I want to just be really clear. You can do anything you want to do. You can. If you want to start your business tomorrow, I fully believe that you can do that. You have to want it bad enough. You know why? You have to believe in it so much because there will be people who will come after you, especially when you get a few years down the road, especially when they see that you're happy, especially when they see you reaching a level of success that they wish that they have experienced. They're going to start coming after you. It is like unfathomable. I can't even say it. It's been unbelievable to me what the last couple of years have been like dealing with different people who just want to hate. And I don't have room for that anymore. I'm not going to be the person that can try to manage their insecurities or make them feel okay at the same time that they're tearing me down. I will not do it. And you should not have to do that either. You have to decide that enough is enough. And you also need to decide, what does success look like for you as you move into leadership or continue in your leadership journey or you start your own business? What does real success look like for you? Because here's the thing, success is different for everybody. Some people, it's a dollar amount. Other people, it's the amount of time that they get back in their day. It's the amount of trips that they take. I mean, success looks different for everybody. For me, I think about my grandma who, we were just talking about this the other day. She grew up in a home that had no running toilet, like no toilet. They had an outhouse. Her parents never owned a home. Her mom was 16 years old when she had her. When my grandma was in high school, the other women in the family would say to her, "You're never going to graduate. You're going to be like everybody else. You're going to be pregnant at 16 years old." And they kept telling her she can't. And guess what she said? "Well, I'm going to prove them wrong." And she was the first to graduate in her family from high school. So that was success to her. When she got into food service in the school, she loved that because she was able to be home with her kids. Then when she moved into working at the hospital in sterile processing for all of the instruments for surgeries, she was saying to me, she's like, "Ashley, I thought I arrived. Like that was it for me. Like I made it." This was so important to her because she was able to do something for herself and her family that many people thought she couldn't do. And it was all those people that were projecting their own insecurities on her. And I'd like to believe that's probably where I got a lot of my ambition and my grit and my ability to really put aside what other people say and their beliefs on me and keep going, even though it's hard. But think about that for success. Some people I've talked to, they're like, "Oh, you make all this money." It's like, no, I don't. But they think that because of what they see maybe on social media, or they see a speaker fee that I put out there. But nothing, like none of the behind the scenes stuff they know about. So they don't really know. And they look at things. But success for me right now is that I have beat many odds in owning a business past 5 years, especially as a female, that I get to be home most mornings to put my kids on the bus, which was something I could never do when they were really, really little, that I do have flexibility to work when I need to work, but I can also be there for my family when it's needed. Like that's success to me. And if I get to make millions one day, fantastic. And that just means more that I can give back to other people. But right now, this is my level of success, is that I get to just keep this baby of mine going and growing with a very small team. But your success is going to be different. You have to define that, and you have to be okay with not, like, sometimes I'll get wrapped up in like, well, this person or this company's doing this and I should be doing more, or And I've had to get out of that and say, celebrate where we're at right now and think about it from a generational standpoint. If I think about where my grandma came from and where I'm at now, it's like, I said to my grandma, I was like, are you really proud of like your grit and determination from all the way back then when you were a teenager to say, I am going to be the first to get a high school diploma? Like that has set the trajectory for all of us in the family to do better and to have more. And that is what leadership is about. That is what entrepreneurship is about. It's really about just raising other people up and spreading leadership and building more leaders and helping people realize that they have more potential in themselves than they might believe in the moment. So sometimes you need to block people. It's time to let them go. And it's okay. There's people who are meant to be in your life for a season of time. And those are others that are meant to be there forever. But we just honor the ones who are meant to be there for that period of time, and on they go to the next season of life. And it's okay to protect your peace, protect your inner circle, protect the things that you've built and worked on for so long. Even if that means it's a dream that you're protecting. Like my grandma, all she wanted to do was get her high school diploma. That was her dream, and she did it. So protect that and don't give that power away to anybody else. All right, my friend, thank you for letting me test out a brand new episode for a midweek moment. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you've stuck around this long, let me know, what did you think? Do you like this kind of content? And I won't be in my robe next time, but hey, we have to pivot when we need to. And thank you so much for being here, my friend. Until we meet again, keep your light burning from ash to dust.